Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're working so hard day in and day out, but no matter how much money you make, it just seems to disappear? Like you're running on a treadmill, busting it every day, but you're not actually getting anywhere. That's how most people live their financial lives, paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed and wondering why they can't ever get ahead. The problem isn't how much money you make. It's how much money you make. It's how much money you're letting slip through your fingers without even realizing it. Here's the deal. If you don't tell your money where to go, you're going to spend your life wondering where it went. And for most people, where it went is straight to mindless, impulsive spending, fueled by credit cards, apps, and that one click shopping button that makes it way too easy to spend money you don't have. Let me tell you the truth. Those credit card companies, they know exactly what they're doing. They've built a system designed to keep you trapped. You think, oh, I'll just pay it off later. But later turns into months, and those months turn into years of minimum payments and high interest rates. Before you know it, you're drowning in debt and your money isn't even yours anymore. It's theirs. Here's what I've learned. The easiest way to spend money is to swipe a card. It doesn't feel real. You don't feel the pain of handing over cash. That's why the average credit card user spends more than they would with cash. Because it's painless. But you know what? Pain is part of the process. Pain is what makes you stop and think before you waste money on something you don't really need. When you pay with cash, it hurts a little. And that's the point. That pain forces you to stay in control, to actually feel the weight of your decisions. And let me tell you, when you're the one in control of your money instead of it controlling you, your whole life changes. You've got to stop the insanity. You've got to get intentional about your spending. It's not about being poor or rich. It's about being smart. And the good news, it's not complicated. You don't need a degree in finance. You just need a system that works. Something simple, something that gives you control over every dollar you earn. And that's where we start, with a plan, a real plan, not just hope. Hope is not a strategy. You need a practical way to take back control of your money. And today, we're going to talk about a tool that's going to do exactly that. It's old school, it's simple, and it works. It's called the envelope system, and it's about to change everything for you.
Let me tell you about something powerful, something so simple it might just blow your mind. It's not a new app, it's not a fancy budgeting software, and it sure isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a tool your grandparents probably use, and I promise you, it works better than anything you've
ever tried. It's called the envelope system. And I know what you're thinking. Dave, seriously, envelopes, like paper envelopes. Yes, let me explain. The system is so simple, so effective, that it can take your chaotic, out-of-control spending and turn it into a well-oiled financial machine. The envelope system gives you clarity, control, and freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from guesswork, and freedom from guesswork, and freedom from overdraft fees and credit card debt. Here's how it works. Every single dollar you earn has a job. When you get paid, you sit down and decide before you spend a dime exactly where your money is going to go. You break your budget into categories. Groceries, gas, entertainment, clothing, eating out, whatever you need. Then you take those dollars and put them in physical envelopes. One for each category. It's old school, I know, but that's the beauty of it. There's no hiding, no cheating, no oops. I forgot I spent that much on takeout. When you open that envelope and see what's left, you instantly know if you can afford to spend or if you need to stop. It's real, it's tangible, and it forces you to make conscious choices. Now, let me warn you, it's going to feel weird at first. We're so used to swiping cards or tapping phones that the idea of carrying cash feels like stepping back in time. But listen, stepping back isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. You see, when you pay with cash, you feel it. You feel that little sting of handing over your hard-earned money. And that feeling, that's what stops you from making dumb decisions.
You're not mindlessly swiping anymore.
You're intentional. You're in control.
Think about it. How many times have you gone to the store for just a few things and walked out $100 lighter because you threw random stuff in your cart? That doesn't happen with the envelope system. When you've got $50 in your grocery envelope, you don't blow $100. You stick to the list, you make smarter choices, and you walk out knowing you stayed on track. It's like having a personal accountability partner in your pocket, except it's not a person, it's paper.
And here's the best part. This system doesn't just work for groceries or gas. It works for every single category in your budget. Entertainment, put cash in an envelope. Eating out, envelope. Clothing, you guessed it, envelope. And when the money's gone, guess what? You stop spending. No more overdrafts. No more overdrafts. No more overdrafts. No more accidental splurges. No more living paycheck to paycheck because you forgot to budget for the weekend. The envelope system forces you to live within your means. And that, my friends, is where the magic happens. It's not about restriction. It's about freedom. Freedom from stress. Freedom from debt. Freedom to finally feel like you're the boss of your money instead of the other way around. So, yes, it's paper envelopes. It's simple. It's practical. And it works. It works because it puts you back in the driver's seat. And let me tell you, once you start using this system, you're going to wonder why you didn't do it sooner. This isn't just about managing your money. It's about taking control of your life. And that starts today, right here with an envelope. All right, now that you're fired up about the envelope system, let's talk about how to actually do it step by step. Because here's the thing. If you don't have a clear plan, you're not going to stick with it. The envelope system only works if you commit to it 100, and that starts with creating a budget.
I know, you've probably heard the word budget and immediately started looking for the exit. But hang with me here. A budget isn't about taking away your freedom. It's about giving you control. It's about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it go, instead of wondering where it went. So grab a
pen, piece of paper, and let's make this happen. The first step is figuring out your income. How much money is actually coming in every month? Not what you hope to make, not what you hope to make, not what's around what you think you make. Get real. Write down your actual take-home pay. Now, take that number and start assigning every single dollar a job. I'm serious. This is what we call a zero-based budget, and it's the foundation of the envelope system. Every dollar you earn should have a purpose.
Some of those dollars are going to go to necessities, things like rent, utilities, groceries, and gas. Others might go to savings, fund money, or that new pair of shoes you've been eyeing.
But here's the key. Don't leave a single dollar floating around without a job. Because if you don't give your money direction, it's going to wander off and get lost.
Once you've got your budget set, it's time to create your envelopes. And yes, actual physical envelopes. You're going to label each one with a category. Groceries, gas, entertainment, clothing, eating out, whatever makes sense for your life. Then you're going to take out cash for each category based on the amount you budgeted. If you decided to spend $200 on groceries this month, you're going to take out $200 in cash and stick it in your groceries envelope. Same thing for gas, same thing for entertainment. Every category gets its own envelope, and every envelope gets its own cash. Now, here's where the magic happens. When it's time to spend money, you don't reach for a card. You don't open an app. You grab the envelope, going to the grocery store, take the grocery envelope.
Heading out for dinner with friends, take the restaurant envelope. And here's the hard part. You only spend what's in the envelope. That's it. No borrowing from other envelopes. No sneaking in a card swipe just this once. When the money in the envelope is gone, it's gone. It's gone. That's your limit, and you're going to stick to it. Is it tough? Absolutely.
But is it worth it? 100? And let me tell you something. This isn't just about cutting back or saving money. It's about changing the way you think about spending. Every time you open that envelope, every time you hand over cash, you're making a conscious decision. You're asking yourself, do I really need this? Is this worth it? And let me tell you, those questions are powerful. They're the difference between wasting your money on things you don't even remember buying and spending it intentionally on things that actually matter to you. Now let's talk about what happens when life throws you a curveball, because it will. Maybe your car breaks down. Maybe you get invited to a last-minute event and realize your entertainment envelope is empty. What do? First, take a deep breath. This is where your discipline comes in. If it's a true emergency, you got your emergency fund to fall back on. But if it's not an emergency fund to fall back on, but if it's not an emergency, if this is a case of running out of fund money, then guess what?
You don't go, you stay home. You find a free alternative. You stick to the plan, because every time you stick to the plan, you're building a habit, and every time you break it, you're reinforcing the same bad habits that got you into trouble in the first place. The envelope system isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about taking control of your money, $1, one decision, one envelope at a time. So set up your budget, grab those envelopes, and get ready.
This is the beginning of something incredible. It's the beginning of freedom. And once you feel that freedom, once you realize you're in charge of your money and not the other way around, you're never going to go back.
Let's do this. Let's talk about the payoff, the benefits of using the envelope system. Because I get it. You're sitting there thinking, Dave, this sounds like a lot of work. Cash, envelopes, really?
Yeah.
Envelopes, really? Yes, really. And here's why. It works. Not just kind of works. Not just maybe works, but really works. Not just kind of works. Not just maybe works, but really works. This system has changed the lives of millions of people, and it's about to change yours too. So let me break it down for you. What do you actually get when you commit to the envelope system? You get freedom, clarity, and control like you've never experienced before. And those aren't just buzzwords. Those are game changers.
First, let's talk about clarity. When was the last time you knew exactly where your money went?
And I don't mean kind of new. I mean every single dollar accounted for, tracked, and under control. For most people, the answer is never. But with the envelope system, that all changes.
You know exactly how much you have to spend in each category, and you know exactly when you're running low.
There's no guessing, no wondering, no pulling out your phone to scroll through endless transactions trying to figure out why your checking account is lower than you thought. With the envelope system, you open the envelope and there it is, your budget staring you in the face.
That kind of clarity is powerful. It's like turning on the lights in a room that's been dark for years. Suddenly, everything is clear.
And then there's control. Let me tell you something. When you're in control of your money, you feel like you're in control of your life. No more overdraft fees. No more maxed out credit cards. No more maxed out credit cards. No more late night panic attacks because you don't know how you're going to cover next month's bills. With the envelope system, you're in charge. You're the one deciding where your money goes, not the other way around. And let me tell you, that control spills over into every other area of your life. You sleep better. You argue less with your spouse. You feel lighter, freer, because for the first time, you're the one calling the shots.
And let's not forget about the financial benefits. When you use the envelope system, you spend less, period. Study after study has shown that people who use cash instead of credit cards spend significantly less money.
Why? Because spending cash hurts a little. It's real. You see the money leave your hands, and that pain forces you to think twice. You don't just grab that extra bag of chips at the grocery store or splurge on that Ranbon gadget online because you feel the impact immediately. That's how you break the cycle of mindless spending. That's how you start keeping more of your money instead of letting it slip through your finger. But the benefits don't stop with the money you save. This system also builds habits that will serve you for the rest of your life. Every time you stick to the envelope system, you're practicing discipline.
You're learning to prioritize, to live within your means, and to delay gratification. And let me tell you, those skills are priceless. They're the same skills that will help you pay off debt, build wealth, and leave a legacy for your family.
The envelope system isn't just about the money you save today. It's about the foundation you're building for tomorrow.
And here's the best part. The envelope system isn't restrictive. It's freeing. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. When you use this system, you don't have to worry about overspending or running out of money because you've already planned for everything.
You've got a budget for fun, for eating out, for vacations, for whatever matters to you. And because you've planned for it, you can enjoy it guilt-free. That's the kind of freedom you can't put a price on.
So, yes, the envelope system takes effort. Yes, it's old school, but it works.
And the benefits are so much bigger than the inconvenience of carrying cash or sitting down to make a budget. This isn't just about money. It's about your life. It's about taking control, finding clarity, and finally feeling the freedom you've been searching for. And let me tell you, once you've experienced that freedom, you'll never want to go back. So grab those envelopes, grab your budget, and get ready. Your best financial life is waiting. Now, let's address the pushback, the excuses, the objections, the reasons people tell themselves they can't use the envelope system. I've heard it all. Dave, using cash is so old-fashioned. No one does that anymore. Or I don't need envelopes. I've got apps for that. Or my personal favorite. Carrying cash is too inconvenient. Listen to me. These excuses are just roadblocks you're putting in your own way to avoid the work of taking control. And let's be honest, those apps were working for you. Would you still be broke? Would you still be broke? Would you still be overspending? Probably not. It's not the tool
You're using.
It's the lack of discipline behind it. And that's exactly what the envelope system fixes. So let's break down these excuses one by one. First, let's tackle the cash is old-fashioned argument. You know what else is old-fashioned success? Winning with money, building wealth that changes your family tree. Do you think it matters if your method is trendy when it's actually working?
No, it doesn't. The envelope system has stood the test of time because it forces you to make smarter financial decisions. And by the way, who cares if people think carrying cash is weird?
You know what's really weird? Living paycheck to paycheck, being broke. Owing money to people who send you angry letters every month. I'd rather be old-fashioned and financially free than modern and drowning in debt. Then there's the, I don't need envelopes. I have apps excuse. Listen, I love technology. Apps are great for convenience. But convenience isn't your friend when you're trying to change your habits. Think about it. The same convenience that makes an app easy to use is the same convenience that lets you overspend with just a swipe. When you use cash, there's nothing convenient about handing over a $50 bill.
That's the point. It slows you down. It makes you think.
It makes every transaction intentional. And I don't care how many budgeting apps you download. None of them can give you the same gut check moment that handing over cash does. The apps can track your spending after the fact, but cash stops you from overspending in the first place.
Now, let's address the carrying cash is inconvenience argument. Okay, sure. It's not as easy as swiping a card or tapping your phone. But let me ask you this. Is living broke convenient? Is waking up at 2 a.m. worrying about how you're going to pay your bills convenient? Is drowning in credit card debt convenient? No, it's not. Carrying cash might feel inconvenient at first, but it's a small price to pay for the peace of mind that comes with knowing exactly where your money's going. And let's be real. What's really inconvenient is staying stuck in the same bad habits that got you into financial trouble in the first place.
Some of you are thinking, but Dave, what if I run out of money in one envelope and I still need to pay for something? Great question. First, it forces you to ask yourself, if you need to spend that money, is it a need or is it just a want? Second, it teaches you to prioritize. If you overspend in one category, you have to cut back somewhere else. That's life. That's life. That's discipline. And that's how you start making smarter financial choices. The envelope system doesn't let you cheat, and that's exactly why it works. And finally, for those of you who are still skeptical, let me hit you with this. The envelope system isn't about being perfect. It's about making progress. You don't have to get it all right on day one. Maybe you mess up and dip into the wrong envelope.
Maybe you forget your cash at home one day and end up swiping your card. That's okay. What matters is that you're trying, that you're learning, that you're building habits that will set you up for success in the long run.
Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and financial freedom isn't the system, it's you. You have to make the decision to change. You have to do the work. The envelope system is just the tool, but the power comes from you.
So stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. You can.
I've seen single moms with 3 jobs make this work. I've seen people who were tens of thousands of dollars in debt use this system to turn their lives around. If they can do it, so can you.
The envelope system is simple. It's powerful and it works. The only question is, are you ready to work it? The choice is yours. Here's the bottom line. This is your moment, right here, right now. This is the moment where you decide to stop letting money control you and start taking control of you and start taking control of it. The envelope system isn't just a budgeting tool. It's a game changer. It's a choice to live differently, to live with intention.
And to live with discipline. And let me tell you, when you make that choice, you're not just changing your bank account. You're changing your life. You're changing your life. You're setting yourself up for freedom, for peace, and for a future that's full of possibilities instead of full of stress.
But here's the thing about change. It's not easy. It takes effort. It takes commitment. And let's be honest, it takes courage. It's not easy to look at your spending habits and admit that you've been making mistakes. It's not easy to break free from the convenience of swiping a card and switch to carrying cash. It's not easy to stick to a budget when every commercial, every ad, and every shiny thing on the shelf is screaming, "Buy me." You know what's harder? Staying stuck, living paycheck to paycheck, worrying about how you're going to pay the bills, waking up every day feeling like you're drowning in debt with no way out. That's hard. And the good news is you don't have to live that way anymore. You have a choice. You have a tool. You have the envelope system.
So here's what I'm asking you to do. Try it. Just try it. Commit to using the envelope system for 1 month, not 6 months, not a year, just 1 month. Go all in. Create your budget, grab those envelopes, fill them with cash, and stick to the plan. See what happens when you stop swiping and start paying attention to every dollar. See how it feels to open that envelope and know exactly where you stand. See how it feels to reach the end of the month and still have money left over instead of wondering where it all went. I promise you, it will change the way you think about money forever.
And listen, I'm not saying you have to use the envelope system for the rest of your life. This isn't about carrying cash until you're 90. This is about building habits. It's about learning to live within your means, to prioritize what matters, and to stop letting money control your life. Once you've mastered those habits, you can start using other tools. But for now, while you're learning, while you're breaking those bad habits, the envelope system is your best friend.
It's simple, it's effective, and it works. Let me leave you with this. You are capable of so much more than you think. You don't have to stay stuck in the same old patterns, making the same mistakes, and living with the same stress. You have the power to change your story. You have the power to take control of your money and build a life you're proud of. But it starts with a decision to do something different, to try something new, and to stick with it even when it's hard. The envelope system is your starting point. It's your first step toward a life of freedom, peace, and financial success. So grab those envelopes, grab your budget, and get to work, because your best life is waiting, and it starts today.